What's up, guys? We got one here from Sigma Traits, where today's lineup's like a buffet of modern dating disasters, full of delusions, double standards, and enough self-awareness to make you laugh or cry. But let's get into it.
I don't know if I'm just making this up or if it's just my intuition, but I have this feeling that the guy I'm seeing at the moment, he's getting off and having his little ego stroked by the fact that his housemates have heard us. I don't know if it's legit or not, but there's just some things that I'm just questioning. Like, he never tells me if there's other people in the house, and he never tells me to keep it down or anything like that. And when I ask, are there people here? He'll say no at times, but then there are. And then when we go downstairs, they kind of make these weird eye contact with each other, and they're like, And it's a very boy club because it's a bunch of dudes living in a house together. And he seems insecure, like it seems like it's like an ego thing, but I'm not too sure. But it's weird, and I don't know.
Well, you're catching on. This dude isn't bringing you around for romance. He's probably using you as a walking ego boost for his frat house buddies. Here's a kicker. You're not even mad about his shady oops, forgot to tell you my roommates are home game. And you're acting confused. And pro tip, stop entertaining guys who treat you like their Netflix special. Demand better or move on.
So I just watched a video of a girl where she said that she got very humbled because she went on a date with a guy, and she said on the text messages he was very flirty. In real life, when they met, he wasn't as forward, and that the date went really well. She said they were out for 2 hours, they went for a walk, they went for a coffee, and then she said she bluntly just asked him, why is he more flirty on text messages than he is in real life? He then humbles her and he says, I think you're a very pretty girl. However, you do look a little bit different than your pictures. That's my opinion now. But I have enjoyed our date, but I do think it's more of a friendly vibe. All the comments are roasting this guy, being like, oh, but he's a walking red flag. You dodged a bullet there and all this, right? I don't see anything wrong in what he's done. He's been very polite about it. He's went on the date with you, and you've asked him a question and he's told you the truth, but because it's an answer that you don't want to hear, you then come to TikTok for loads of people to then roast this guy, when, fair enough, you haven't put a picture of him up, thank God, but he's done the right thing. Some guys, I've heard stories where they'll meet up with someone and they'll leave them in a bar or a restaurant. Some people I know have driven off from people when they've just been stood there waiting. That's the wrong way to deal with it. How this guy handled it, I think, was correct, in my opinion. And I know this because I once used to use a lot of filters on dating apps, and when I met up with a guy once, you could tell he was not interested at all. And then he texted me and he was like, I think you look a little bit different in your pictures. I was humbled. I never used proper full-on filters ever again. I might use like a smoother filter or a tan filter, but I never used one that made me look like a completely different person because I was humbled. And how that guy done it and how this guy done it was perfectly correct. So I don't know why, I just don't get with the comments why women are so against when people tell the truth.
Yeah, so she's not wrong. And basically, to get it straight, is this guy was polite, honest, and upfront about his feelings, but because he didn't worship the filter to oblivion selfies, he's the red flag. I mean, the real red flag is catfishing men with Snapchat filters and expecting Prince Charming. I mean, 64% of people do admit to misrepresenting themselves online. If you don't want a reality check, stay off dating apps.
In Germany, if you did not know, it's really common here for when two people go on a first date that they split the bill. So, like, the woman pays her portion and the man pays his portion. And the other thing about that is that on the date, you're only going to pay for what you consume. So let's say I got a margarita for $8 and he just got water, free water. When the total bill comes out, it's very common for the man or whoever to be like, hey, I didn't drink that margarita, so I don't want to split it like that. I want to pay for what I ate. So I went to the internet to try to figure out why is it like this, because this is not like how it is in America. It's very different. And apparently I can't read because I can't come to understand why. So you telling me you asked me out on a date. You told me I was beautiful. You invited me out to dinner. You're telling me how much you want to marry me and you want me to have your first children. And you tell me when the waiter comes out with the bill, after you said you was going to build a house with your own bare hands for me, and the waiter comes out with the bill and you look at me like this. So are you going to pay? What?
I don't think all of that happened. I think she was asked to pay for her portion of the bill. But we got Germany, land of the efficiency and splitting bills. Meanwhile, this lady's out here clutching pearls because her guy didn't foot the tab for her margarita. Equality isn't just about boardrooms and protests. It's also about paying for your own damn drink. And look, if you want chivalry, maybe don't lead with entitlement. Pick one, partner or paycheck. Welcome to equality.
Men always just want virgins that hadn't had sex with anyone and are really good girls. Like, you want younger women as well, so it's like that whole predator vibe.
What if I said women are stupid, can't make money, short, and weak because they want a guy that makes more money than them, taller than them, more confident, ambitious, etc.? That would be ludicrous, wouldn't it? We don't shame female preferences. Okay? When a woman says, I want a man that's tall, makes money, etc., you go, girl, you deserve it. That's your preferences. If I say, I want a girl that's not a hoe, that has some sexual temperance, isn't going to embarrass me when I walk in a room, beautiful, young, etc., that's considered, oh, that's toxic and masculine. We demonize male preferences, but we don't demonize female preferences.
Look, he's right. From what she's portraying as men wanting younger, less experienced women is toxic. Cool story. We flipped that script. When women demand tall, rich, confident men, it's standards. But when a man wants a woman with dignity and fewer exes than a Netflix catalog, suddenly it's oppression. Make this make sense. Look, preferences aren't the problem. Double standards are. Stop shaming men for knowing what they want.
I want everybody to be happy. I want everybody to find someone that makes them happy. I want everybody to live a beautiful life that they want for themselves. I don't wish ill on anybody, but I can't stand the delusion. Now we all got to sit here and we got to be like, oh yeah, this is great. This is somebody who could get 95% of guys. And imagine going through life with that sense of delusion. Like, we see it, and this is an extreme example, but when women walk around like that, imagine walking around thinking, I could get 95% of guys. How many guys are you telling no to because you think you're better than them? Are you? Or is it in your head? Just think about it. If you don't want to wind up alone, you have to have a realistic assessment of what you bring to the table, of your looks, of your capabilities, of what you're willing to do in a relationship, of your character. All of it.
Yep, here we go with the delusion Olympics. You think you're the top tier, but 95% of men aren't calling back. And guess what? The problem isn't them. It's time for some self-reflection. Want someone great? Be someone great. Relationships are built on a mutual respect and not I deserve this because fill in the blank of whatever you want. And yes, standards are important, but reality is undefeated.
So what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of our divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly?
Now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. This is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
The late Kevin Samuels spitting facts as always. The divorce debate, women file 70-80% of divorces. That's fact. But blaming men for their decisions, that's rich. The court hands over the house, the kids, and half the paycheck to a woman, but somehow it's the guy's fault she's unhappy. Accountability, anyone? And maybe stop wrecking homes and start fixing attitudes.
People meet people nowadays. Being a single gal in a single world, where do I go if I don't want to go on dating apps? Like, I don't like dating apps. I've had them. I've tried them. I get disappointed. I get discouraged. Let's be honest. Let's be real. Dating apps, if you're going to think this person is attractive, you're probably going to swipe yes. And if you don't find them attractive, you're going to swipe no. But sometimes people just aren't photogenic. They just don't present themselves well through photos. That's why I just feel like it's so much better to meet people in person. Also, just like with having dating apps, like, it just feels forced. And I don't want it to feel forced. I want to like go out in public, meet someone like in the wild, both just happen to bump into each other and you're like, and then, sparks fly. I just want to know where do the single men go? Where are you going? Where are you hanging out? Like, if you're in the garage, like, come out. Like, are you at the lake? Are you snowmobiling? Are you fishing? It's wintertime. What are you doing right now? It's funny. How am I this amazing? And single? Like, are you kidding me? And for the longest time, I just wasn't worried about it. At this point, I'm 31. What is happening? Is there just no one left? Put me on a dating show. The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, Love Island. I don't even care. Just put me somewhere so I can actually interact with the male race. I'm not interacting with males. Anyways, that's
So where are all the single men they cry while swiping left on anyone under 6 feet or under 500,000 a year? I mean, lady, the dating pool isn't dry. You're just fishing with a broken rod. Men aren't hiding in garages or just tired of dealing with entitlement. Try lowering your impossible standards and focusing on connection instead of convenience.
Love comes to you when you least expect it. Shut up. I have been trying to not expect it for like 6 years. And also, I was speaking to my friend the other day, and she was like, well, like, are you, like, trying to, like, go out of your way to meet people? And I'm like, no, because people are fucking telling me that it comes when you least expect it. So here I am, like, trying to convince myself I don't want it, and I'm just not expecting it so I can get it, and it's not happening. But then even when I go out of my way to, like, go on dating apps, it just never works because these people that I'm meeting aren't my cup of tea, are not wanting what I want. They just want a casual thing. And like, as someone who's never been in any kind of romantic entanglement, my first relationship is not gonna be a fucking casual relationship. And yeah, so like, what one is it? Should I put myself out there, or should I just pretend that I'm not like, oh, I don't want a boyfriend?
Psycho. You know, love comes to you when you least expect it. Well, no shit, Sherlock. It's because desperation smells like last week's tuna. You want a boyfriend? Great. But here's the thing. Relationships are a two-way street. You don't want to just wait for Mr. Perfect to parachute into your life. You know, get out there, be authentic, and stop treating dating like a vending machine. Anyways, guys, you know, dating today is like watching a dumpster fire in slow motion. It's entertaining, but it's tragic. Entitlement, unrealistic standards, and societal double standards, both men and women are struggling. Solutions? How about some self-awareness? Know what you bring to the table and respect the other side's preferences. And let's stop letting the elites and their algorithms dictate our lives. Focus on authentic connections, set realistic expectations, and if the local dating scene is trash, grab that passport. Tradition isn't dead, it's just on vacation. Well, guys, that's the end of the video here today. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Drop me a comment down below what you think. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.